The birds fell silent first. In the gray pre-dawn, their sudden absence was a louder alarm than any horn. Corey's eyes snapped open, his soldier's instinct screaming. He rolled from his bedroll, his voice a harsh whisper that cut through the chill, rousing the men sleeping around the dying embers. But even as they scrambled for weapons, the truth was a cold stone in his gut. The hidden camp, chosen for its secrecy, was always. The rustle of disciplined movement came from the tree line, not the careless noise of beasts. They had been found, betrayed. Arrows hissed from the gloom, thudding into earth and flesh. Cries of pain and shock erupted. Corey saw the loyal hunters' silhouettes advancing, their polished armor catching the first rude light. There was no time for stealing. His men were scattering, but now as they ran, a searing fear, not the attackers, but the unseen traitor who had led them here. And now pulled back low. He dodged behind a thick oak as a spear splintered the rock beside his head. He broke into a desperate sprint toward the steep ravine at the camp's edge, the only path left. As he ran, a raw inward plea tore from him, a silent whisper to the justice and Finiston. Feeling. The hunters closed in and shouts triumphant. Then chaos. A sudden violent gust of wind turned the upsetting storm, roared through the equipment, whipping dust and leaves into a blinding rhythm. Horses reared, instantly pushing future. Unseen hills seemed to benefit their roots, filling a narrow, chaotic gap. Boyd did not question the aspect. He plunged over the ravine's edge, sliding and scrambling down the rocky slope, throwing his tongue of its clothes. He suddenly perceived he lost in the returning to bottom. He reached the bottom, words of agony, and thrust himself into a crevice of the stone. The dark straight on the sun. By dusk he found them. Three survivors huddled in a cave slick with damp, their faces hollow with shock and loss. Their whispered report confirmed the cold stone in his gut. The betrayal bore a familiar name, Joran, a friend who had shared his fire, his castle, his trust. A hunter was purple the hunted by decision. The time of the dawn sky. It was all going to harvest but now, when I came in different storms, the found winds settled into colder than the cave's chill. He stared into the small hidden fire, seeing not flames but Joran's laughing face across 100 other campfires. The memory of shared bread turned to ash in his mouth. This was the true wound, deeper than any blade. The cruel algebra of trust shattered, when loyalty invested yielded only a dividend of blood. The world seemed vast and empty, a hall of echoes where every oath could be voided by whispered secrets to the right bidder. At first light, a shepherd boy, drawn by the smoke, found their wretched hideout. Wide-eyed and nervous, he brought news from the capital, delivered with the bluntness of youth. In the great square before the palace steps, Corey's enemies held court. They displayed captured banners, told embellished tales of revenge, and mocked the fallen commander's name to the laughter of the crowd. His downfall was their festival, his disgrace their public celebration. The boy fled, delivering his message, leaving her staring in the cave mouth, the morning sun feeling like a mockery itself. His whole pursuit was one trial, but this spectacle sworn was another weapon entirely, designed to erode his very name from history, leaving only a punchline for the victorious. Alone on a sun-baked slab of stone overlooking the wilderness, the law desperate cry for was not run a petition, but a demand. It was a guttering war against the silent sky, a plea for justice that held the timber of a man. He called with power and trust, not with shelter, not with action. Let the scales be balanced. Let the mothers in the square and shame. He vowed, his voice cracking on the bow, when justice came, he was held. He seated, swallowing now. These intense silence. Then, that brought live tales from the eastern treasure world. Party, relentless in their search, and encamping in Neural Canyon, swing and natural beauty still. No rain fell, the very walls of the canyon shook themselves apart in the rolling cascade of stones vast. Years itself and beautiful. Those who survived to really not from the land, but from the land that seemed to reject them. The pursuit was over. At sunrise, Corey stood again by a high stone. Understanding settled upon him, quiet and deep. True power was not always a striking fist. Sometimes it was a shield. Sometimes it was an interrupted path. A mountain love that stood in a hill. There was a protection of moon resting as an engine. The moon watched over the world, and he spoke of finding information to be achieved. Freedom etched upon his spirit. Justice had not roared. It had simply removed the obstacle. And in that removal, he found his answer and his path forward.